men's mile. Next on the track, Noureddin Mursali is the championship record holder. The best this year, Bernard Lagat. Boy, he has really taken advantage of being a newly minted U.S. citizen, setting American records all over the place.
And having, I think, the best year, early season now, early in 2007 that he's ever had. He's running very well all over the place. This is a man who's run really well sometimes. He's trying to become more consistent, still very young, and he has achieved really terrific times at 10,000 meters, at 5, in the mile, but he has had other times he hasn't run well at all. So he's recovered now from the flu that kept him out of the Tyson Invitational 2 weeks ago.
I saw Webb when we first got in, as we go to Chris Lukasik, who is the defending indoor champion. And with Webb, I said, you know, we're going to be saying words like redemption after that Millrose performance. He said, hey, that's okay. He said, because I deserve it. I ran a lousy race at Millrose, and I hope to redeem myself here in Boston at the Nationals.
Track and field guys, as a whole, are very down to earth. There's not a big ego strain here. When you say, hey, you didn't run well, they say, I did not run well at all.
Notice there, Gabe Jennings, fourth from the right there, is in this field as well. So some big names who have had some big performances at some point in their career. And boy, they just went right into a jog the very first turn.
This is the 1 mile walk, folks. And finally, someone just swept around before it became terrible.
Mark Thompson decided to take the lead before everybody fell all over each other. So we've got a tactical race early on here, and that probably suits Alan Webb just fine. But there are some people in this field who can certainly kick with the best of them.
And we'll see if Webb waits, let's say, through the half mile and then decides to say, all right, how fast can you guys run the last half mile as opposed to just doing it on the last lap. We mentioned Jennings, who made the Olympic team back in 2000 from Stanford and then went on an odyssey around the world. He's running on the right of your screen right now in last place, the dark-haired guy in the red outfit. Now training at the U.S. Olympic Training Center in Chula Vista and getting some concentrated work in down there.
Well, Mark Thompson continuing to lead, and he towers over the rest of the runners in this field. And Alan Webb very happy just sitting back there. He's liking the pace here, but he's got to be thinking about the kicking speed of a Chris Lukasik. Gabe Jennings, you can see there with the beard back in the back. I don't know what to expect from him. We never have known what to expect from him.
No, that's true. And sometimes I'm not sure he knows what to expect of his racing. He's run 4:01 though 2 weeks ago. 62.7 for the first 440 yards in this race. Very kind of, for these guys, pedestrian and very tactical.
Ryan Kleimenhagen has moved into the lead now. Another Division III guy, Wisconsin Platteville.
Part of the Team USA Minnesota group up there. There are these pockets around the country of athletes who train together, work together, raise their funds, and are doing well. And Team USA Minnesota is one of those very fine groups that have an excellent training base and support system.
Well, I'm starting to get a little concerned about the way this is bunching up. We oftentimes will see people get themselves caught and go down. We saw that in the women's mile earlier.
2:06 by the first 880 yards. This is good. Don't go away. This is going to be an interesting last 3.5 laps, folks. And it's going to be tactical. And then let's see who makes the break first and who's got the raw speed here. This is easy for everybody.
I think it'll be interesting to see if Webb runs the way he oftentimes will against domestic competition. He has some disdain for his domestic competition when he's really ready, but it changes when he gets some internationals. And Gabe Jennings comes out of nowhere and decides to take the lead. 3 laps remaining, so it ought to start getting interesting.
Still slow so far. Now, let's see if Gabe, I can see the leg turnover is a little quicker here, but now definitely quicker. Looking up, I can see these guys are setting sail now with 3 laps to go. 600 meters essentially left. Here comes the race. Here comes Webb.
So it's Gabe Jennings, the 2000 Olympian, who has been on and off the scene the last few years. Alan Webb second. Chris Lukasik now moving up. Rob Myers there in third. So now the battle is joined.
59.5 for the third 440 yards. And Lukasik in the back has perhaps the most raw speed. He's trying to move into third place. Myers is no slouch on a kick either. They're side by side in third and fourth as they come up to about 250 yards to go. This is going to be fun, this last lap.
Gabe Jennings is pretty much flat out at this point in time. Webb also moving into position. Rob Myers and Chris Lukasik absolutely where they need to be. Bell lap. Gabe Jennings continuing to be successful at holding off Webb. Webb probably should have made the move on this backstretch and is trying to close it before the turn. Smart running by Webb, and now Chris Lucchese is back there trying to gain on Webb. Does Webb have enough? He's turning over with his arms and his legs. He looks very strong here. Jennings starting to falter a bit, and Webb just pulling away from Rob Myers. Jennings does end up third, 4:01.08 off of a 2:06. So 1:55 last 800 meters.
Yeah, about 56 seconds for the last 440 yards that he ran. You know, that's interesting. I wouldn't have guessed that he would have been able to pull away from everybody. He might have held on for the victory, but that's a confidence builder for this guy to be able to kind of say to everybody like Lucchese, you know, who he trains with every day. He trains with a man in fourth place right now who's got very good speed. And look at him pick it up now. Rob Myers, a past indoor champion from 2005, is swinging wide right now, but cannot overcome the lead. Good leg turnover, good drive by Webb. Excellent performance, and I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the way he ran that and his last kick.
And he's happy with the way he ran that as well. Alan Webb does win it over Rob Myers. Gabe Jennings holding on for third. Chris Lucchese just gave it up with about 75 meters to go. So another national title for Alan Webb and a little